Hello, movie lovers. Welcome to Rapid Fire Fridays for Movie Talk Express, the weekly movie news recap show where we break down the biggest movie news stories of the week. I'm Jacob Bartley, your regular host of the MTE Movie Podcast. I'm here with my co-host, co-writer at Movie Talk Express, Gio Ramos. How you doing today, man?
Doing good. I hope you all are doing well. And those of you out there in Comic-Con, I hope you're having fun, you lucky people.
Lucky SOBs. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, this is the weekend of San Diego International Comic-Con, and we're not there, but it's such a special event for movie fans.
An annual thing, yeah.
It really is. And so we're going to go through our normal subjects that we had planned for this rapid fire, but while we're doing that, we're going to be keeping our eye on all the news feeds, because currently, as we speak, there's the Star Wars panel going on right now at Comic-Con, and you can expect some big news.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm keeping my eye on that Twitter feed, and yeah, be ready.
We have our normal subjects that we're going to go over, but at any time, if something breaks while we're recording this, we're going to talk about it for sure. So Gio, the movie news guru, is going to keep his eye on that, and he's also going to go ahead and introduce our news topics for the week. So without anything else, let's go, man. What's our first topic?
Okay.
Normally planned topic for the day.
All right. Well, since it's Star Wars currently happening right now and taking over the news feed of social medias everywhere, we're going to stick with Star Wars. So there is a rumor going around that a familiar iconic villain from the original Star Wars trilogy will be appearing in the first anthology film titled Rogue One. According to birth.death.movies, they're saying Darth Vader is rumored to make an appearance in Rogue One. The appearance is said to be small, like very small, and let's see, according to their quote, he will not be the main antagonist, but he will be working behind the scenes, pulling strings, and he will appear on screen, literally. I'm told he'll be showing up via view screen or holo projection or something. So for me, it makes sense because from what we know, Star Wars Rogue One will be taking place between episodes 3 and 4.
Yes.
And the plot is around stealing the plans of the Death Star.
Starring Felicity Jones. Official confirmed cast member.
Yeah, as a resistance fighter. Yeah. And taking all those things into consideration, the timeline, where it's happening, what's it about, this sounds like a rumor that would make sense. So if anything, we should expect a confirmation, I would assume, at Comic-Con, which is currently happening right now.
Yeah, we might find out in the next coming minutes. You never know.
Right. So
this is something that I was hoping for and expecting because the timeline makes perfect sense. Yes. Darth Vader is alive and well during this time, and probably in his prime, where he's arguably the most powerful he's ever been at this moment. So
yeah,
they would be fools not to bring him in. I understand why it's going to be a limited role. You know, I think in future anthology films he's going to have a huge role,
right.
But you kind of want to ease him back in, let people know he's still around and we could be seeing him. But I would be a little upset if we don't get to see like a lightsaber battle with him or something. But I understand this is not a Jedi and Sith movie. This is a Rebels bounty hunter heist movie, stealing the death plans. It's about the pilots and the bounty hunters and stuff. It's not about the Force and
the other side of
the
war.
Sith and But it makes total sense that Darth Vader is the guy behind everything, pulling the strings, because as we know, the opening scene of A New Hope, the first Star Wars movie, he's looking for the Death Star plans, and it's the most prominent point in the plot of A New Hope. You know, the rebels stole the Death Star plans, and that's the reason why they ended up knowing where to blow up the Death Star. So
the weakness.
It makes total perfect sense. I'm so excited. Now all I'm hoping for is maybe an Ewan McGregor cameo, maybe, as Obi-Wan.
I think maybe he'll get his own film. You know, we'll find out.
We'll find out pretty soon. All right, what do we got next?
Well, speaking of Star Wars villains, I just want to. This is one of the breaking news, but I don't think it's been confirmed. Domhnall Gleeson is playing General Hux.
No way.
Yes.
Really?
I don't know who General Hux is.
Yeah, neither do I, but we just found out he's a villain, right?
Yeah, I'm looking at the Comic-Con photo right now, which we can put up.
Yeah, we'll throw it up right at this part of the podcast.
Yeah, he looks like a pretty high-ranking officer general.
Really? Oh, man. Well, this doesn't dismiss this, but I was hoping he looks like he could be Luke's son. But he still could be.
Right.
He could just be going under another name. Maybe he turned to the dark side and he doesn't want, he wants to go against the Skywalker name and change his name.
Right.
Totally possible.
All right, well, that's the first piece of breaking news. Expect more as we continue. Next up, sticking with Star Wars, we have a very exciting piece that released earlier this week. Now, this came from, correct me if I'm wrong, StarWars.com.
I'm pretty sure they if they didn't announce it first, they confirmed it because they don't mess around. When it comes to Star Wars, they're not gonna say they're not gonna confirm anything if it's a rumor or something like that. So it came from StarWars.com. I posted the article and I put the source down as StarWars.com.
Okay, so according to StarWars.com, the Lego Movie and Jump Street directors Phil Lord and Chris Miller will be directing the Star Wars second anthology film, which focuses on a young Han Solo. And let's see here. No details on the plot are given. It states that Lord and Miller are very excited to give us something new and fresh with someone who we love and we're familiar with. And, well, I mean, just going off of this, I love it. I've loved everything that Phil Lord and Chris Miller have done. They've given me no reason to, not be excited or
no reason to doubt them at all.
Exactly. Yeah. And as far as all right, so young Han Solo, I'm visualizing a sarcastic guy who can get down and dirty when need be. And I think Phil Lord and Chris Miller, they've shown this in the Jump Street movies where these guys can be action heroes, especially Channing Tatum.
Yeah, and be funny.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see who they get to play young Han Solo. I honestly don't have anyone in mind right now.
Yeah, it's so hard because it is, as long as it's a good actor, you'll be happy.
Yeah, what age?
See, we don't know what age, what time period, so it's kind of hard to guess that. But right. I remember they were throwing around like Aaron Paul, but I love Aaron Paul, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But I don't see him as Han Solo. I just don't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, is Han Solo a young thief already? Does he have his skills? How far back in the origins are they gonna go?
Maybe it's set around the time that he wins the Millennium Falcon from
Lando.
Yeah, from Lando.
Lando Calrissian. Come on, man.
That would be interesting. I love this news. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. Phil Lord and Chris Miller are they're hot right now.
Yeah.
Everybody wants them. Everyone's trying to get them to work on something. Even I think they're writing the Flash movie, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure, and they might end up directing that. So these guys are very highly sought after directors and
very busy.
And if you're worried because they're comedy directors, you got to consider what Gio just said. Han Solo was kind of the comedic relief of the original Star Wars trilogy. But you do take him seriously, too. When it comes to battle and when it comes to taking care of business, he's going to do it. So he's not all fun and games. And I think Lord and Miller can execute this perfectly. And it could have that same humor feel as 21 Jump Street and stuff. Not rated R, obviously. But I am not as high on a Han Solo movie as most people are because it's going to be so hard to see somebody else as Han Solo, but they're going to do it either way. So if they are going to do it, these are the guys I want directing, and I'm totally happy with this as a huge Star Wars fan.
Yeah, and one last quick thought. going off of the long-time controversy from Star Wars fan about Han shooting first. From what I understand, Han Solo is at first like kind of like a a gangster, that kind of like a hard type of
he's a scoundrel. He's
scoundrel.
A thief.
But now Disney, George Lucas tried to change that around by
he did that way before Disney
special edition.
And they have Greedo shoot first. That's so. And if you watch the new versions where Greedo shoot first, he shoots like above Han Solo and misses him and shoots the wall behind him.
Right.
Like he's right in front of him and on a coffee table, like a dinner table at a restaurant, like looking booth, and he misses him. So not only did they change the original concept and idea of Han Solo being a badass and shooting first, they showed Greedo misses him, and then Han Solo gets a chance to shoot him, and then he just gets up and walks out. So
yeah, the whole reason why I brought that up is, is Disney going to continue with the not as dangerous Han Solo, or are they going to dive deep and make it like,
I think Han Solo is probably going to be the edgiest Star Wars movie that we get, because he's going to be crossing that boundaries of being a
thief.
Yeah, being a bad guy, pretty much,
the anti-hero.
But no matter what, people, that's exactly what he is. For lack of a better term, he's an anti-hero. He's especially before the events of A New Hope. So I'm excited. I'm starting to get excited about this when I initially was not really excited for a Han Solo movie. I'd rather them do, an Obi-Wan movie.
You don't know, man. Within the next couple minutes, we might... Oh, by the way, Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill have just taken the panel for Star Wars.
Oh, so wow, man. I wish I was there.
Shit's getting real right now, people.
All right, moving away from Star Wars for a little bit. What do we got?
This one is not as a surprise, at least for me. Ben Affleck is expected to direct The Batman. That's an unofficial title, but rumors are stating the title will be The Batman. Anyways... So, this news broke from Deadline. They're saying that Affleck is set to direct and will also co-write the script with the chief creative officer for DC Comics, Jeff Johns. Like I said, no surprise, Ben Affleck, terrific director, on a hot streak right now. His last 3 films, The Town, Gone Baby Gone, and Argo, out of order, but those films are great. I love them all. I can't wait to see what he does with this new Batman in his hands, essentially, writing and directing. He's going to have one movie under his belt as Batman already, so he's going to be a little bit familiar with the character. And I'm excited. This is great news if you're a comic book fan, let alone a Batman fan. You have a guy like Ben Affleck who is giving you no reason at all to be concerned. He's a phenomenal director. I can't wait to see what he does. What do you think?
I can't be upset. This is, so as far as I know, this is a rumor, right?
It's
not. Is it 100% confirmed or not?
It's not. It could be tomorrow during DC's panel, but for right now, it's
most likely true.
Yeah.
Right. So, but just want to let people know that it's not 100% confirmed yet.
Correct.
And I love it. Like you said, Ben Affleck is one of the best directors in Hollywood right now.
Yeah, right now, yeah.
He's 3 for 3. Mm-hmm. He's batting 1,000. So you cannot go wrong with that. And I totally trust him directing. And as far as I know, from what I've heard, he's a huge Batman fan. Mm-hmm. Like he has his own Batcave built in one of his houses. Like,
oh yeah,
he's a huge Batman nerd. So he's gonna he's gonna treat this like his baby.
Oh,
this is his 4th directorial, and
it'll be his 5th because he's doing one movie before.
Oh,
this.
You're right. So by the time we get to this movie, it'll be his 5th, and I'm very much looking forward to it. I remember our very first podcast episode, we talked about some of our favorite directors, and I think I failed to mention Ben Affleck.
Mm-hmm.
He's fantastic. and he's improved as an actor too.
Oh yeah.
And he won Best Picture as Argo,
Yes.
and he was the lead in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
So you're telling me he can't carry a movie? He carried Gone Girl, in my opinion. So this is nothing but good news. And as far as co-writing with Jeff Johns, I don't know much about this, but from what I've heard, DC fans love Jeff Johns. I know he works on some of the comics and some of the DC animated universe, and I can imagine DC lovers to be very excited about him working on this movie, and they probably feel confident with it in his hands. And those are probably the same people that don't like Ben Affleck as Batman, so this might ease some of their worries, you know?
Yeah, I mean, just take it from us. This is nothing to be worried about. This is nothing but good news right here. Nothing but good.
Yeah.
And
sounds awesome.
I want to ask you real quick. We know many of Batman's villains will be making their on-screen debut in Suicide Squad. Notably, the Joker, Harley Quinn, Deadshot, Hugo Strange, and Killer Croc. Now, we won't know until the end of Suicide Squad who has the better chance of appearing in the Batman standalone film, which is rumored to be around 2018. But who do you think will be the first villain in the Batman standalone film, just from this list of characters from Suicide Squad?
I mean,
just your gut feeling. We don't have anything to go off of with. What would be the best?
Why not the Joker? I mean,
Joker and Harley Quinn.
we're already going to be introduced to them in Suicide Squad, so
right.
Why not? I mean, maybe that's a reason not to have them as the first villains. Maybe Joker and Harley Quinn get locked up by the end of Suicide Squad, and during the time the first Batman movie takes place, he's still locked up, you know?
Right.
So, and you never know. What if Joker is locked up, and then he's like pulling the strings from behind the scenes? He sends a villain after Batman, you know? Maybe he, sends the Riddler or Two-Face after Batman. You never know. But I think if it's not the Joker, I think it's going to be a character that is not in Suicide Squad. Somebody new, the Riddler or Penguin or
Riddler,
somebody like
Penguin, that. Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, you can go a lot of different routes, man. So I want to see a villain that we did not see in the Nolan Dark Knight trilogy, because it's so recent, and unless it's Joker, I'm not going to be mad if Jared Leto's the main villain in the Batman. Right. So, but I could see it being somebody that we haven't seen in a while. A Riddler maybe.
Oh yeah.
You can make that realistic and grounded, and not make it too over the top. So.
Oh, please get Johnny Depp. After seeing what I've seen from the Black Mass. Wow, that would be. I think that would be awesome. Really,
I just don't want it to be cheesy, man. But with Affleck directing Johnny Depp, oh man,
especially after
he's gonna take it seriously.
Let's say he kills the Black Mass.
Or what about? I don't think it will ever happen. But what about Leonardo DiCaprio as maybe Penguin, but like a realistic Penguin? He doesn't even have penguins. He's just. That's his nickname, the Penguin, because he's a crime boss,
Right. Well,
we'll see. Anything can happen.
We saw DiCaprio do a supporting role in Django for Tarantino.
Man, I would love DiCaprio. I think he would play a villain if he was to be in a comic book movie, and he doesn't fit into the Marvel universe. I don't think. I think he fits perfect in the DC universe as either Two-Face, Riddler, or Penguin.
They get down and gritty, dirty.
Yeah, dude, think about it. That would be awesome.
No.
And seeing Affleck and DiCaprio on screen together, man, that would be fantastic, dude. I would love
fans will lose their shit.
Yeah.
All right,
what's next? Staying in the DC universe, right?
Oh, yeah. Next up, we have a quote from Zack Snyder via Entertainment Weekly, who defends the ending of Man of Steel, the controversial ending. Now, if I'm assuming a lot of you have seen Man of Steel by now, you'll know that there's a lot of destruction in Metropolis, and Superman does something that a lot of fans weren't happy about as far as snapping General Zod's neck. So Snyder addressed these, concerns and negative comments by saying, "I was surprised because that's the thesis of Superman for me, that you can't just have superheroes knock around and have there be no consequences." Now, we're already starting to see that in Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. In the first trailer, we hear audios of the world talking about Superman. Is he the villain we need? What's the consequences? Does he really stand against, for humanity, mankind, or, is he, doing other things? But I didn't have a problem with Man of Steel. I thought it was exactly what it needed to be. It needed to be about as real life as it can get. And DC needed to establish themselves apart from Marvel. And I had no problem with Superman snapping Zod's neck.
Because he had to.
Well, I have to, yeah. I mean, no, I have to address that. Yeah. He had to.
That's what I'm saying. He had to.
And, that creates a lot of tension and drama.
It leads perfectly into Batman v Superman.
Right.
Because everybody's saying, oh, Superman's a hero. Why did he let all those people die in Man of Steel? He had no choice. What is he supposed to do? How many of the Kryptonians were there? 3 or 4, right?
Right.
There's 4 Kryptonians equally powerful as him, trying to take him down.
And we saw the military get destroyed in that movie. It's like,
This is, all right, so I just want to say, everybody's subject to their own opinion. If you don't like Man of Steel, that's fine. That's your own opinion. And the funny thing is, I wasn't that high on it when I first saw it. I was a little bored the first time I saw it. But I've watched it a few more times since then. I love it. I think the more I think about it and stuff, it's moving up there as one of my favorite comic book movies of this era.
Right.
Because if you look at it as a character study of Superman, I think it's a piece of art, honestly, that you see, because you're seeing him deal with his daily progression as trying to hide his powers in modern day, but then you're getting these flashbacks of how he grew up and how he dealt with it as a kid and how his parents influenced him. It's a really great movie, and in the movie he doesn't know how to use his powers yet. He's just learning how to fly and do all this stuff. So how do you expect him to avoid hitting buildings and stuff? He was basically caught by surprise by these Kryptonians. It's not. Man of Steel is unfairly critiqued because people say, oh, Superman would never let all those people die. Superman would never kill a villain. He had no choice. Zod was about to kill a family, and if he didn't stop him then, Zod was going to keep going until he's done. And there's no way, no government facility can hold Zod. So he had to kill him. He had no choice.
Yeah, because Zod wasn't going to stop. He was created to protect...
to protect
Krypton, right?
Yeah. Kryptonians. That was his built-in DNA, because all the Kryptonians were they were all made to have a certain destiny, and that was his purpose, to protect Krypton and their race. Right. And Superman was the first natural born Kryptonian in so many years, so he was able to choose his own destiny other than all the other Kryptonians. So I applaud Snyder for backing up his movie, man. It's unfairly critiqued. It has a 50-something% on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't understand that, but everybody has their own opinion. So
yeah, I
can't be mad.
We're gonna see the consequences of that kind of stuff.
Exactly. So
in Batman v Superman,
you got to look at the context of it.
It's going to be addressed, people.
Him knocking down all those buildings, and it's not Superman literally killing these people, but you got to blame Zod and his crew. But of course, they're gone now, so who's to blame? Superman. And this leads us directly into Batman vs Superman. Batman is going to be the guy who's not okay with all this.
Oh, he's gonna put an ass whooping on.
Oh yeah,
Superman.
and he's upset because if I'm not mistaken, it's going around that one of the buildings that got knocked down was one of Bruce Wayne's buildings, and a bunch of his employees died.
Right.
So it's also, he probably knew those people and was, and sees them on a regular basis, and so it's personal now. People he knew died.
What if Lucius Fox died, man?
Something like
Just
that. You
imagine
never
Morgan
know,
Freeman, like, died. Oh, no.
Yeah. So I applaud Snyder for backing up his film. I agree with everything he said.
Nice.
All right, what do we got next?
Well, I was just reading something real quick.
From Comic-Con?
Well, yeah, Harrison Ford took the stage.
Oh, Harrison Ford is there?
Yes.
Wow, people were debating whether or not he's going to be there because he doesn't like to go to those events.
Right.
Wow, that's cool. That's
Showed
cool to find
up.
out that
He
he's actually
called
there.
the Force Awakens script remarkable
Heck
and
yeah.
something he's excited to do.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's because people say like he's antisocial and like very bitter and he doesn't like to do press stuff. So that is awesome that Harrison Ford's there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Still no news updates on further Star Wars films, but we're keeping our eye on it. So stay tuned. Next up, the Goosebumps trailer has officially released this week. Jack Black stars as R.L. Stine, the creator of Goosebumps, and from what I've seen in the trailer, some kids mess around and open up one of his books, releasing all of his monsters that he created into the world, and now R.L. Stine has to work with the help of these kids to get them all back. I saw the trailer. I thought it looked fun. It was a Jack Black. He looked like he really fit into the role. It was nice to see some of the monsters again. Some of them I remember very well from my days as a kid and being afraid. Like that one. Who was that one talking dummy that wore like a tuxedo? Had nice hair.
I forget his name,
Oh
but
my
the puppet.
God.
He was so scary when I was a kid.
And I saw him again. I was like,
I remember that episode of Goosebumps. I think it was like a 2-series episode.
mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Good God. Yeah. But anyways, I thought it was good. I didn't think anything else of it. I don't know. I wanted to be really, really, really excited about this. I wanted to like take me back to a time where I was just like, wow. And it did. It did a little bit. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe I just grew up. I don't know. I mean, this movie is trying to be for family.
Yeah, exactly.
For kids.
You gotta look at it that way.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. You know, I said it was good, but I mean, we'll see. I'm still gonna watch it in theaters. I would rather have the Goosebumps be more of a thing for the next generation of kids,
Exactly.
something that they can enjoy rather than myself.
Yeah,
you know?
because you could make an adult type Goosebumps movie if you wanted to, but that's not gonna sell tickets. A family fun kids movie is gonna sell tickets, I think.
Right. Could you imagine if Blumhouse Productions got a
made a Goosebumps, like a R-rated horror movie?
Wow.
I see, because we haven't had like a mainstream, big blockbuster Goosebumps movie, so I think this is the right way to go right now. Mm-hmm. But hey, sometime in the future, if they could make like a scary, hard R-rated Goosebumps movie, that would be awesome.
Get James Wan to direct.
I personally love this trailer. I really do. Goosebumps is one of those things that I grew up on. It was Power Rangers and Rugrats and Goosebumps. Those were the things, and I was freaking scared all the time watching these Goosebumps shows, dude. It creeped me out so much. And while this trailer isn't as scary as it is fun looking, I'm cool with that. You want to be able to get 5, 6, 7-year-old kids in there to be able to enjoy the movie. You don't want it to be too scary,
Right.
So
right.
I think it looks cool. It looks like a fun family adventure. If you think of it as in the same type of movie as like maybe like the Chronicles of Narnia, like that same like type of demographic that it's trying to attract.
Right.
I think this movie could do some damage at the box office. I really do. And I'm very much looking forward to it. As a kid who grew up on Goosebumps, it looks fantastic. And Jack Black is the perfect role for this. I like the kid, the young boy. I forget his name, but he was in Prisoners. He was the son in Prisoners, and he was pretty good in that. So I'm looking forward to it, man. It looks great. And there's nothing to be worried about as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, this is definitely a movie for kids, but it's going to be something that people who were kids and teenagers in the 90s.
It's the nostalgia. So they're getting all this new generation of kids, but you're also people like me. I'm 24 years old, and I'm excited for this movie because I grew up on it, and they know that. It's the nostalgia thing. It's the same thing with Power Rangers. They're going to get those people who grew up on that property in the theaters, and it's very smart, I think.
My only request is that they play the Goosebumps theme song from the TV show.
Oh my goodness.
If they don't have that in there, I'm going to walk out.
Maybe they have like a minute opening, like...
Oh my god!
Like an opening
so
sequence,
amazing.
And it's like flipping through the books and showing like all the stuff he's drew, and playing the Goosebumps theme. Better. Oh, they can incorporate it into the score. They better. I hope they do, because the Goosebumps theme is one of the most prominent aspects of Goosebumps. Like you hear that song, you know it's Goosebumps. So that's awesome.
Beware, you're in for escape. Something like that.
All right, we have. One more, correct?
And unfortunately, the Star Wars panel has ended.
No huge news, right?
Nothing, according to Twitter feed. The panel was over. It's funny. Kevin Smith is prepping for his next panel, but everyone's leaving Hall H. That's messed up. Come on, you guys. Anyways, yeah. So hopefully we'll learn more about Star Wars later on. But tomorrow we have DC's. Warner Brothers.
I cannot wait for that panel.
Oh yeah, we're gonna see. And last news, this one really, it's big news for us as movie bloggers, movie podcasters.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to do with movies.
Yeah, you might be.
It has more to do with the movie blogosphere and stuff.
Right. Some of you might be aware of this, but AMC Movie Talk recently shut down. What happened was, well, we don't know the specifics, and we don't want to know because it's none of our business. But John Campea recently left AMC Movie Talk, AMC Theaters, and he was searching for a while to find the right next step for him. And it turns out John Campea has signed a deal with Complex Media, who works...
I think they own Collider.
They own Collider.
They acquired it recently.
So basically, John Campea now works for Collider Movie Talk, and they have a YouTube video series where they discuss movies, pretty much similar to what AMC Movie Talk was.
Yeah, basically, what happened is AMC Movie Talk just became Collider Video Movie Talk,
and most of the people from Campea's crew.
Went over to
Collider. Yeah. John Schnepp, Mark Ellis, Christian Harloff,
and Dennis Zen,
Ashley Mova, Sinead
DeFries. Unfortunately, they could not bring on Alicia Malone, which is so upsetting.
Yeah, Alicia Malone. She was she always had a different
She was one of my favorites, but I still see her anytime on Schmoes and stuff like that. But Campea did say he's. Once they can grow a little bit more, he wants to bring Alicia Malone back. So,
this is great news, man. We get our people back. Yeah,
it's kind of bittersweet, honestly, because look, I'm excited because this John Campea. We've said this before. John Campea and AMC Movie Talk are arguably our biggest influence. Mm-hmm. Why we kind of started this, and we kind of model ourselves after some of the things they've done. We were influenced by them highly, and when I first heard that John Campea was leaving AMC Movie Talk, I was upset, but then I thought about it. This is going to give him more freedom to do what he wants. He doesn't have to just talk about movies. He can talk about TV stuff and everything.
Oh yeah.
But the only downside to that was we're not going to see him. The great thing about AMC Movie Talk was the chemistry between all of them. And that was the most upsetting thing. We weren't going to be able to see Campia and Schnepp and Harloff and Ellis joking around all the time. Dude, they have such great chemistry.
Right.
And when I first heard that they're all staying together, I was so happy. And Collider is one of the most respected movie sites online.
Yeah, that's where I get a lot of my stuff from.
Go on their site that much until I heard this news, but I've been checking it lately. It's a pretty good site, and obviously John Campia is all about honesty and integrity in the movie world, and he would not sign with a company that he didn't think was was honest with the way they handle movie news and television news and stuff like that. And Campia did say that Collider Video is going to do TV stuff, which I'm excited for. I can't wait for them to talk about The Flash and Arrow.
Legends of Tomorrow coming up.
It's going to be awesome. So it's a little bittersweet. I'm sad to see,
some of the key figures.
Amy Rose Eisenbach left before this all happened.
Amy Rose.
We don't have Amy Rose anymore. We don't have Alicia Malone. We lost Mary Jetikin a while back. But hey, we still got the core guys. As long as I get Alicia Malone back in there eventually, I'll be happy with it.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, if you're like movie geeks like we are, and you watch other people talk about movies and stay up to date with movie news, this is something worth checking out.
Yeah.
You can check out the YouTube channel Collider Videos and check it out. You might like it.
They are the best at what they do.
Right.
They are. They truly are. John Campia, the old AMC crew, now Collider Video, and that involves Schmojno too. I love Schmojno podcasts, man. They're awesome. So that Collider Video and Schmojno are the two best at what they do, in my opinion.
Yeah, so, as far as video blogging
go check them out. Go check them out. They highly influenced us.
Yep. And with that, we are good to go.
All done for the Rapid Fire Friday. Nothing big on Comic-Con broke while we were doing this. A little bit of Star Wars news. We found out Domhnall Gleeson is playing a villain in the movie, General Hux, which we know nothing about, but there should be some news coming. And if anything big breaks today, we're probably going to put up a little editorial, just a quick reaction, because Comic-Con is where it's at. Is there any other big panels today, or is that it?
That's pretty much it. Tomorrow.
So maybe there might not be any other big stories coming out today, but there's going to be stuff all weekend. Keep checking our site, movietalkexpress.com. We're sure to have updates on all these movie stories and stuff.
Warner Brothers, DC, 20th Century Fox with their X-Men.
Oh yeah, we're hopefully gonna get some Justice League and X-Men news coming pretty soon. So hopefully we hear something about X-Men and Fantastic Four, maybe crossover movie.
Great. Yeah, and I definitely want to see Fantastic Four really, rock the stage.
Push it,
Yeah, get people going, because this film has gotten so much unfair criticism. But that's a topic for another
episode.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you all for listening. As usual, you can find our site at movietalkexpress.com, our YouTube channel, Movie Talk Express. You can find us on Facebook at Movie Talk Express, on Twitter at Movie Talk AX. I'm Jacob Bartley. You can find me on Twitter at Jake Ryan Bartley. Gio, where can they find you at?
You guys can find me on Facebook at Jojo Ramos and on Twitter at Jojo Ramos24. I love you guys.
Thank you all for listening again, and don't forget, if you liked our podcast, click that subscribe button. And we at least release 2 podcasts a week. And if you like the video, hit that like button. For Movie Talk Express, thank you. Till next time.